You didn't come here to drift endlessly. You came to anchor your dreams into reality. And early this week, Pisces, the universe hands you the compass. Not the kind that points north, but the one that points inward. Because May 26th and 27th don't just hint at transformation, they initiate it. Through introspection, through intention, through every emotion you've postponed, waiting for clarity. This is the clarity. Not because it's loud, but because you're listening. Monday morning arrives with a gentle nudge. Not with chaos, but with a serene whisper in your soul. A realization, a stirring. A sensation that says, it's time to realign. And it begins with your inner sanctuary. Because the new moon in Gemini illuminates your fourth house, home, family, and emotional foundations. A dialogue between your inner world and your external environment. Between what you've felt and what you're ready to express. Pisces, this is your moment of emotional architecture, but not with walls. With openness, with vulnerability, with a voice that no longer hides. So ponder this. What emotions have you suppressed for the sake of peace? What truths have you avoided because they were uncomfortable? What dreams have you silenced because the world wasn't ready? Here's the truth. The world may never be ready, but your heart is. And these days aren't about waiting for the perfect moment. They're about creating it. So start your day by embracing stillness. Before you check your messages, before you dive into responsibilities, open your journal. Title the page, I Build My Sanctuary from Within. Then list 10 feelings you've been avoiding because they felt overwhelming. Write freely, no judgments, no edits, just authenticity. Then highlight the one that resonates most deeply. That's your cornerstone. Because Pisces doesn't escape emotions, you embrace them. You transform them into strength, into resilience, into wisdom. Now, take that emotion and channel it into action. Not a grand gesture, a meaningful one, a genuine one. Write down the first step that honors this feeling. Have the conversation. Set the boundary. Create the art, even if it's challenging, especially if it is. Because growth isn't found in avoidance. It's cultivated in acknowledgement. And you, Pisces, you are growth personified. Midday brings another layer. Saturn, now in Aries, casts a grounding influence on your second house. Values, self-worth, and resources. It's prompting reflection. Do your actions align with your values? Or are you compromising your integrity? This is the call to evaluate your commitments not as obligations, but as choices. So pause. Assess your priorities, not to criticize, to empower. Where is your energy invested? Who receives your compassion? What are you neglecting that your soul is yearning for? Make a concise list of 3 areas needing realignment. Then beside each, note the adjustment you'll implement this week. Even a subtle shift, practiced consistently, reshapes your reality. And Pisces understands this intrinsically. You don't require drastic changes. You need intentional progress. That's how you create harmony. Now breathe. Feel how even small, deliberate actions rooted in authenticity elevate your vibration. Because these days aren't about doing more. They're about doing what truly matters. And you already know what that is. You've always known. Now you act. Monday afternoon presents a challenge. One that tests your emotional boundaries. One that confronts the parts of you that prioritize others over yourself. Perhaps someone seeks more than you're willing to give. Perhaps an old pattern resurfaces. Perhaps it's a moment where you're tempted to overextend. Again, pause, reflect. This isn't rejection, it's redirection. The universe is asking, will you honor your needs even if it disappoints someone else? Because self-respect isn't always celebrated. Sometimes it's the quiet no that affirms, I choose my well-being over external expectations. And Pisces, this is your empowerment. You don't need to sacrifice your peace for approval. You preserve it by setting boundaries. So express the no with compassion. Then turn inward, light a candle, embrace solitude, and affirm, I am worthy of peace. I do not have to absorb others' emotions. I nurture myself with love and respect. Let it resonate within you. Let it ground you. Because this moment, this decision, is your foundation. And when the world seeks to sway you, you'll remember. You didn't come here to please. You came here to be whole. Pisces, this is just the beginning. You've navigated life with empathy, emotion by emotion, sacrifice by sacrifice. But early this week, The universe sends a message that doesn't just whisper, it echoes through your soul. It doesn't ask, "How do you feel?" It asks, "Why do you feel that way?" And Pisces, that's a question only you can answer, because some of your feelings stem from love, but some arise from fear of rejection, fear of vulnerability, fear that if you reveal your true self, you won't be accepted. And yet here you are, still feeling, still connecting, still embracing the depth of your emotions. But this time, it's different. The stars are guiding you not to suppress, but to express, not to hide, but to heal. Because May 26th carries the transformative energy of the new moon in Gemini. And that energy, it doesn't demand perfection, it invites authenticity. You might feel the urge to retreat, to shield yourself, to control the uncontrollable, but control isn't clarity. And Pisces, clarity is what you truly seek. So pause. Mid-morning, create space to connect with your inner self, not your obligations, not your roles, your essence. How does your heart feel when you breathe? Are your shoulders tense from carrying others' burdens? That's the signal. You're holding on to emotions that no longer serve you. So here's what to do. Find stillness. Open your journal. Light a soothing candle. Then write at the top of the page, what emotions am I carrying that aren't mine? Set a timer for 10 minutes. Let your thoughts flow, even if they surprise you, especially if they surprise you. Because this isn't about controlling emotions. It's about understanding them, not with fear, but with compassion. And Pisces, emotional intelligence is your superpower. When the timer ends, underline one sentence, just one. The sentence that feels like a revelation. That's the insight you carry forward into this week. Now stand up, literally. Wear something that feels comforting, authentic, grounding, not for appearance, for alignment. Then step outside. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Let nature mirror your inner peace. Feel the stability within you. Feel your spirit align with the universe. Because you don't need to escape to find serenity. You need to embrace your truth. Midday on Tuesday, a moment of introspection may arise. A pause, a realization, an invitation to reconnect with your inner voice. Accept it, not with hesitation, but with openness. You don't need to justify your feelings. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to understand yourself. So embrace that. Affirm, I honor my emotions as valid. Repeat it if needed. Because those who value your presence are those who respect your boundaries, not those who challenge them. By mid-afternoon, your energy stabilizes. But don't mistake stability for stagnation. This isn't about complacency, it's about contentment. Letting go of narratives that equate worth with sacrifice. Letting go of the need to prove your empathy. Letting go of patterns that drain your spirit. This is your opportunity to redefine your narrative, to set new standards, to decide that your journey isn't about depletion, but about fulfillment. So take a leisurely walk. No distractions. Just the rhythm of your steps guiding you back to yourself. Consider it a meeting with your soul. What truth needs acknowledgement? What emotion needs expression? What dream have you sidelined? You already know the answers. You just need space to hear them. Evening arrives with tranquility, but don't rush into it. Savor it. Prepare a nourishing meal. Set the table with intention. Light 2 candles, one for your past, one for your future. And as you dine, express gratitude, not for achievements, but for the courage to feel deeply. Pisces, your sensitivity is not a weakness, it's a strength. But now, it's time to channel it differently. Not just with compassion, but with clarity. Not just with empathy, but with empowerment. Because true strength, it doesn't overwhelm, it understands. It navigates with grace. And you, Pisces, are ready to embody that strength now. Tonight, you don't need more answers. You need integration. So prepare your space. Dim the lights. Light one last candle, white, indigo, or soft gold. Let the flame remind you, you are safe to feel, you are safe to choose. Now open your journal. Turn to a fresh page. Title it, The Emotion I Choose to Lead With. Then write down just one word, one feeling. The one that keeps returning, gently but persistently. Let that word be your lighthouse, your signal, your softness in motion. Close the journal, hold it to your chest, and say softly, I move forward not with pressure, but with presence. I do not abandon myself to meet expectations. I lead from soul, not from survival. Then exhale, longer than you think you need to. Feel the shift, not a breakthrough, a becoming. Step outside, even for a moment. Let the night sky witness your clarity. Even if it's cloudy, even if it's quiet, it still holds you. Pisces, this week is no longer waiting to begin. You've already entered it, with awareness, with intention, with truth. And from here forward, you don't just float. You direct the current. You don't just dream. You build from intuition. You don't just heal. You embody peace as power. This is your recalibration. This is your resonance. This is your return. So sleep tonight not to escape, but to align, because the version of you who rises tomorrow isn't starting over. They're stepping in, fully, finally, freely. You are not only the dreamer, you are the depth where dreams become real.